So as you probably know, we just got our February 2023 Nintendo Direct, and some of the announcements in this presentation were absolutely insane. From Pikmin to Metroid to Zelda, we got so much new info, and I am so excited to get to play these games. But since a pretty large chunk of this Direct was made up of filler, I'm going to be breaking down any information we got on main first-party Nintendo titles. I'm also planning on doing a few dedicated videos on some of these announcements in the future, so if you're interested in that, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you get notified for those videos, as well as other Nintendo content in general. And of course, if I missed anything, make sure to let me know down in the comments below, as well as what game you're most excited for that we got new info on. So with all that out of the way, let's roll the intro and get into breaking down the latest Nintendo Direct. So the very first thing we got to see in the Direct is an actual proper trailer for Pikmin 4. And this game is honestly looking really good. The art style looks pretty similar to that of Pikmin 3 and the other past Pikmin games, however it seems to have gotten a pretty significant upgrade in the graphical department. The look of all the plants and animals in the environment is just so crisp and refined. And this game is overall looking absolutely gorgeous so far. The new camera angle that Miyamoto talked about when the game was first revealed is finally being properly shown off, and it really makes the world feel a lot more immersive. While I myself haven't played a Pikmin game as of yet, I've tried my best to familiarize myself with the franchise, and I very much hope that this game is more open than the previous games in the franchise. The trailer shows us an Ice Pikmin, a brand new species of Pikmin that you're able to use in the game, and I hope that more different types of Pikmin are introduced in later trailers, or at least in the final game. When you throw the Ice Pikmin, it's able to freeze enemies, which allows you to more easily deal damage to them, or bodies of water, which allows you to walk across them, which seems like a pretty cool way to be able to traverse the environment. And speaking of new ways to traverse the environment, there's now this new dog Pikmin hybrid thing that allows you to ride it across different areas of the map. And from the looks of the trailer, it seems it will be able to break down barriers that normal Pikmin can't, as well as move larger enemies and obstacles. After some creepy scene which looks like it probably will tie into the story of an enemy getting possessed or something, we get a release date for July 21st of this year. This game honestly looks like it will be really fun, both for people who have played the entire Pikmin franchise or those who haven't played any of the games like myself. After the Pikmin 4 segment, we got some information on Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC, which I'm just going to be glossing over because I'm not that well versed in the JRPG genre. We then had a few third-party announcements before we got our first look at Splatoon 3's large-scale DLC, which we now know will be coming in two separate waves. The first, which is coming later this spring, brings back the hub world of the original Splatoon, Inkopolis Plaza. You can access all Splatoon 3's modes from here, and you can see Callie and Marie perform during Splatfest rather than Shiver Fry and Big Man, and that's pretty much it. We have no confirmation whether this is bringing over any other content from Splatoon 1 other than the hub world itself. So hopefully we get more info on this soon, and it's not as much of a letdown as it currently appears to be. It's certainly a really cool idea that they're implementing here, however I do think it does definitely need to be expanded upon if it's going to be worth the price of paid DLC. However, it's Wave 2 of the DLC that looks really interesting. Side Order. Now, we currently don't know much at all about the second wave of the DLC, however, it does look like it's going to be another story campaign. However, it is possible that this is an online multiplayer mode, which I honestly would prefer. I feel like Splatoon is the best in its online modes, but that's just my opinion. I honestly can't wait until we have more info on this, because this looks like it has the potential to be something really cool. A bundle containing pre-orders of both waves of DLC, as well as the game Splatoon 3 itself, has been put on the Nintendo eShop, and it's priced at $85, meaning this DLC is probably going to be $25 total. Though I wouldn't be surprised if there's a discount with the bundle, and the actual price of both waves of DLC combined is $30, $15 for each. We then got some more third-party announcements, some DLC for Fire Emblem, which once again I'm glossing over because I'm not very well versed in the genre of JRPGs. And then we finally got a trailer with an actual release date for Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. We have known about this game for a while, since the summer of 2021 in fact, and it was originally supposed supposed to release in late 2021. But because of the conflict going on in the world right now, Nintendo decided it would not be the best idea to release a war game during that time, so it was delayed until now. We finally have a release date of April 21st, 2023, with the option to pre-order available now. I actually never got to play any of the other games in the Advance Wars series, so I'm really happy to be able to try this out on Switch. And then immediately after this announcement, we got to see the new mode coming to Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, Magolor's Epilogue. As if this game didn't look good enough already, and I have to take a moment to say HAL Labs has been absolutely cooking lately. I mean, first we got Kirby in the Forgotten Land, then we got Kirby's Dream Course, which was a small eShop title, and now we're getting Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, a full-on remake of one of the greatest Kirby games ever made in the eyes of most. In this mode, you of course play as Magolor, who is one of the main characters of Kirby's Return to Dreamland. However, he wasn't actually playable in the original game. Magolor has essentially lost almost all of his power, and you have to regain it by going through a bunch of levels, and as your power regains, then your moveset slowly grows. And the way this works is essentially a skill tree, which allows you to level up your abilities over time. This mode seems like it's a perfect fit to be added to the base game, especially because it offers a nice little challenge after you beat the main story. But what I think is the potentially most exciting thing about this trailer is there's now a free demo of the game available now on the Nintendo eShop for download. I haven't played this as of yet because I've been working on this video in all the time that I've had available to. However, it does look super fun and I highly recommend checking it out. I'm definitely going to at the nearest opportunity. And it was then at this point in the Direct where some of the coolest stuff started coming in. And first, we are now getting Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games on Nintendo Switch Online. And while the rosters of games do seem somewhat limited right now, it looks like they're going to be vastly expanded upon in the future. The Game Boy games are available to everybody who has a subscription to Nintendo Switch Online. However, the Game Boy Advance library is restricted to only those who have a subscription to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass. The Game Boy games are also able to be played with the filter of the original Game Boy, the Game Boy Light, as well as the Game Boy Color. And while this is currently not a feature of the Game Boy Advance Switch Online app, I do hope that Nintendo decides to bring over the screen smoothing feature that they used on the Wii U Virtual Console for Game Boy Advance games, as it didn't really smooth the screen to the point where it didn't look like pixel art anymore, but rather made the pixel art look somewhat more modern with a higher resolution pixel art canvas. And I honestly have no idea how Nintendo managed to pull this off so smoothly back on the Wii U, but I do hope it makes a return here on the Switch. And now that we have handheld consoles on Nintendo Switch Online as well, I really hope that means the DS library of games isn't that far out of reach anymore, because that system had so many great games that deserve new life on the Switch. But after this announcement, we got one of the craziest things in the Direct, in my opinion. We got a full-on remaster of the original Metroid Prime. And not only that, but this was also a shadow drop, meaning the game is available for $40 on the eShop right now. But if you want to get a physical release, you'll have to wait until the 22nd of this month. And I have to say, this game looks absolutely gorgeous, especially for Switch standards. I showed this trailer to someone earlier, and they thought it was for a PS5 game. Now, granted, they didn't know a whole lot about Nintendo, but still, that goes to show how incredible this game looks. Everything in the environments is just full of detail, and this looks almost like it could have been a full-on remake. And one of the coolest parts about this is that because Nintendo was releasing this so early, it opens up the possibility of Metroid Prime 4 releasing at some point later this year. Now, personally, I think it will probably come sometime early next year, but I feel we are definitely close to getting some more news on this game. And I'm honestly really glad Nintendo has been deciding to pretty much revitalize the Metroid series, as we hadn't had before Metroid Dread a proper new entry in the series since the 3DS. And now we have Dread, this game, and potentially Metroid Prime 4 all being on the Nintendo Switch. The controls of the game have also been somewhat modernized, which is nice because I tried playing the original Metroid Prime through the Prime Trilogy on the Wii, and I really just couldn't get that much into it because I thought the controls were pretty clunky, which is a shame because I know how good the game actually is. So I'm glad with these new controls, as well as with the game being on Switch, more people, including myself, will find the game more accessible. And I am so excited to get to playing this game. However, I'll be waiting for the physical release, so I won't be able to play it for a little bit. We then got a few more third-party announcements, and then we got the thing that I'm most likely to make more separate videos on, which is the reveal of Wave 4 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, which includes a brand new Yoshi's Island course, which was leaked a while ago for Mario Kart Tour, as well as the addition of a new character, Birdo. While many people were expecting the Yoshi's Island track because A, once again it was leaked, and B, the Fruit Cup seems like the perfect place to have it, the addition of Birdo came completely out of left field. And Nintendo has confirmed that we'll be getting more characters later on through the future waves of DLC as well. So I'm wondering if when we get the rest of the tracks revealed, if there will be another character this wave, and if so, what other characters will be coming in the future waves, which will probably be its own video in the future. Similar to the Shy Guys and Yoshi's in the base game of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you're also able to choose from multiple different colors of Birdo, which is a nice addition. I also absolutely love the way this track looks. While you can still tell in a few places that the model was probably made for Mario Kart Tour, it is still pretty detailed and it fits in really well in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, especially because it seems to be going for its own kind of art style that fits Yoshi perfectly. The entire track is filled with little details and things from the Yoshi games, and there's even a little cel-shaded question mark cloud that you're able to hit to form a different portion of the track. This sneak peek has me super excited for the rest of Wave 4, especially because the courses seem to be getting better and better with each wave. We then had a few more third-party announcements before the final portion of the Direct. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Trailer 2. Now, I'm not going to do a full unpacking of every little detail in the trailer because that could take up the entire length of its own video, though I will go over some of the main things I noticed. While the main world itself does still seem to be very similar to the original Breath of the Wild, we did get to see a little bit more of the islands in the sky. And I honestly think there is some big thing with the terrain and the world of this game that Nintendo has not revealed yet and possibly won't reveal at all until the game is actually released. They know this game is going to sell so well that I think they might be going with a strategy that allows the fans to go in blind. Or at least as blind as they possibly could be while still promoting the game somewhat through trailers. In this trailer, we also got to hear who is presumably Ganondorf speaking for the first time with actual voice acting in Zelda history. As we had known previously, he uses his power to lift Hyrule Castle into the sky, as well as presumably the other floating islands. But something that we didn't know before that was in this trailer is that it looks like he's using his power to either morph the current bokoblins and other monsters of Hyrule into new forms, or to simply spawn in more of them. We also got to see multiple forms of what looks to be Zonai technology, as well as Link's arm and its new powers in action. Also, Link now has a car, and a hover vehicle for some reason. What is this game? But in all seriousness, there's a reason this won most anticipated game of 2023. I mean, how do you build off of what is widely considered one of the greatest games of all time? I guess we'll have to see when Tears of the Kingdom comes out on May 12th, 2023, and I am so excited. But that pretty much wraps up my breakdown of the latest Nintendo Direct. If you liked the video, then why don't you press the like button? I mean, if you got this far in the video, you probably did like it. And if you want to see more videos like this on the announcements of the Nintendo Direct, as well as other Nintendo content in general, make sure to subscribe so then you get notified whenever I upload another video. While the next few videos are probably going to be about things with the Direct, I am working on a video unrelated to the Direct that should be coming out after the hype has died down around the subject, so make sure to stay tuned for that. With all that out of the way, thank you all for watching. I'm Jacob with the Game Block, signing off.